Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Collins.
Yeah.
Baloo.
Here.
Contos. Van.
Here.
Amstutz. Buss.
Here.
All right, so everyone received the council minutes from September 15th. Any amendments? Hearing none, minutes stand as approved. There was a special work session scheduled for the 30th. There were not enough council members for a quorum, so no official business was done. No minutes for that meeting. Takes us into public speaks. So guys, you're here for a topic later on, right? Anything you want to bring up in public speaks or?
No.
Okay. Sue?
Yes, I want to say on behalf of the residents of Cedar Street north of Noble, we appreciate the increased police patrolling. There was an incident, and I'm wondering if you're at liberty, since you have photographic evidence, to pursue that or no?
Yeah, we're pursuing.
Okay. We have a new family in the neighborhood, and they have a small child, and they asked why the police were coming down, and I said, they're just making sure things are okay on a dead end. So we do appreciate it. It's been noticed. Thank you. That's all.
Very good. Mr. Showalter?
I'm just countering what she said. Status on the cameras?
Cameras, there was a delay in getting the equipment in. Latest update I received, Charlie, and you probably received the same, was that they'd be installed maybe December, January. Installed December, maybe active January.
So they're gonna get in before you're out of office?
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay,
I hope
was curious.
Yeah.
All right, number two is I had a special delivery today from the mail carrier. And she has to do the same thing I do every day, is cross that street to deliver something to my house. And she made the comment, the traffic is worse out there than it's ever been. So to counter what she just said, it's no better on East Nassau, and that's at the city limits, not in town.
Yeah.
So
Understood.
that's not my comment. That was somebody that drives that every day and notices it. So it's not much, not just me, and you can talk to any of my neighbors and they'll tell you the same story.
Yeah, I think whenever we have a focus on with traffic, it shows that there's an issue. Like we see that the tickets are plentiful in that area, and we know that it is definitely something, an area of focus.
Yeah, it's my concern is safety.
Yeah.
I'm not getting any younger.
Mhm.
And the whole street there's little kids on the end of the street. There's little kids across the street. And I just, that street is, people don't realize when you lose control of a car at 35, it's one thing. When you're doing 55 through a residential area, you're going to take something out.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's not a person.
Well, the 2 years ago it was the pole, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
And it supposedly swerved to miss a deer. Well, I just was in Yellowstone, and the speed limit's 35. That's known for bison and animals all over. So they obviously don't have a problem with 35, but obviously coming through the city, 35 is a problem with animals. And you can tell how many dead animals have you collected in the block that I live in the last year, and how many are left on the road?
Maybe one deer and probably raccoon and skunk or two, maybe.
Yeah, so but anyway, don't want to let it die, because
absolutely right.
talk's cheap, and we've been hearing this. Well, I've lived there 43 years, and trust me, it's worse now than it's ever been in the 43 years, but it's never been good.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
Yeah, I can assure you that we are pushing forward with the cameras. We're kind of at the mercy right now of the equipment being delivered. That is currently the delay. It's not anything that the village has done, or even the city of Canton, or even the supplier. Is just getting the equipment here. So,
Just one other observation. I've seen the state highway patrol setting along there. I mean, is that something, I know everything's in their jurisdiction, but
I mean, it's not something that we're not calling them and asking them to, but
Yeah.
you know, if it helps with the safety, I'm not opposed to seeing them outside the village limits, you know. Positioned, I mean, it doesn't bother me at all, especially if it comes to slowing people down.
'cause I've
That's just
noticed
my
it
personal opinion.
more than one time
Yeah.
within the village.
Yeah, I'm 44 or 172.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah.
That's enough.
agreed. All right, that'll be it for public speaks. Takes us into committee reports. Service.
On the roads, paving's been complete on Center Street by the water tower. Work on starting to replace road signs around town that are either need straightened or replaced. We did have a community member complain about the speed table. It wasn't so much of a heavy complaint, it was just a concern in the future when we do them to try to avoid hills. And I explained to this person that the reason it was where it was at was because of where we needed to place it on the road. It couldn't be so close to the stop sign, couldn't be too close to the stop light. And then obviously can't block driveways or alleys, so that's why it was there. And they were understanding about that. They just wanted to make sure that it was known that they'd like them to be not on hills, and they're not ideal on hills. So I explained that that's not our goal to put them on hills. So.
Did is the company that put them in, did they come back out and double check that one?
They can, but when they called me out to it, and they were telling me that the specs have to be at 4.5 inches or below. So the speed table, they would take the top of the speed table, put a level, 6 foot or 8 foot level, top of that speed table, and run it straight out and lay it on the blacktop and lift that end of the level up till it's level and measure between the bottom of that level and the asphalt. If it's 4.5 inches or lower, that's clear.
Okay.
That's how they measure it. That's how they deem it to be okay. So
There really haven't been too many complaints other than that it's pretty, that one coming, well, going west over, it's pretty bad.
it is the hill. The hill makes it more intense for sure.
Maybe that's what it is.
There's no doubt it makes it more intense, but it is within the limits of when they install them.
Okay.
They've installed several of them. They said that was within the limits. So, and they showed it to me how they did it. So that way, if somebody would ask, I can show
As long as it's good, I don't care.
them. Any other questions on roads at this point? Do that. Underwater, we took inventory of some water clamps, got some quotes, sent that over to Kurt. Got some quotes on bladder pumps and trash pumps and some tools. We did fill the fuel up, so we're trying to get ready for this season coming up. We all know what's coming. Started back on our flushing program for a little bit of time we have left of the year, coming off that ground system tanks. I didn't want to tackle that too early with it, get the system all settled. We were having some issues with the pump control valves, the pump valves. Met with a rep from Watts to come in, and we adjusted some things down there and got it working. I had another issue, the pump wouldn't start up, so I did call Kurt to ask for his assistance, and he come down and found out we had 2 blown fuses. So we did have them on hand, and put them in, so that was good. So everything's back up and operational to this point down there. We'll see how it goes. The parks, leaf dumpsters have been placed at the park. They're ready for people to start dumping their leaves. Had the front tire repair on the Cub cadet mower, and you have it tubed. We also had a flat on the front tire of the GMC truck, had that repaired. Sunday, October 26th will be the last day for the market at the park this year. We're talking with Mrs. Peterson, Molly Peterson, about some ideas for next year's market. There's some concerns with some council members that asked to try to have some kind of parking lot patrol with all the parking there because of the people backing out and everything like that. They're so packed. And I also asked her if she'd be willing to rent both pavilions, because our concern is that if the parking's so bad and there's nowhere to park, if somebody would rent that top pavilion, they would come in with their family or whatever and not have a place to park. And she was more than willing to do all these things. They did start with some parking lot monitoring this year, but they'll get into it more next year.
It gets bigger, they might need the upper section.
Yeah, that's what I asked her, if she'd be willing to rent it, she said, absolutely. I said, "Well, because if somebody would rent that, it's just gonna be a huge inconvenience for whoever rents that."
Yeah.
So she was willing to do that. It's only once a month, so. Zoning, I wrote 5 zoning permits, 3 have yet to be picked up that are remaining out there. Any questions? All right,
Very good.
thank you.
Chief Hartloff is actually out with COVID, so he is on mending. Wish him better health. But we do have Sergeant Crouch here for safety. Sergeant.
Gentlemen. Since last meeting, there has been 95 calls for service. 2 crashes, 3 alarms, 1 warrant arrest, 2 civil disputes, 3 domestic complaints, 1 fight, 26 business checks, 2 thefts filed for warrants on those, 22 traffic stops, and then 33 other calls for service. We also still have 2 pretty big cases going on right now. So, to answer your question, sir, with the cameras, it was an issue with the supplier was worried about tariffs from whatever country they were coming from. That's what pushed that back. Just not only frustrating for you, it's frustrating for us as well. So, another thing, the speed tables, they're slowing people down to work.
Oh, they're working.
So, it works out for us. Anybody have anything for safety?
There haven't been any other complaints on Walnut Street or any speeders if they're stepping down the next, not Walnut, the next street over here.
Liberty?
Yeah,
Not that I'm aware of. We haven't had complaints on there.
that was one of the concerns.
But they would try to avoid it. No, I don't really have any complaints for there. I know in the morning times, we're trying to get out there because people do it to avoid the lights, but.
Thanks, sir. That takes us into judicial.
Before we get started on judicial, could we do a real brief executive session for employment compensation?
That's
Make motion? I'll second.
I just don't remember what the,
Yeah, that's good. I'm trying to do what,
that's it. So
I'll second.
who do you want in, I think?
everybody and the administrator.
All right, roll call. Collins.
Yay.
Blue.
Hey.
Contos.
Yay.
Stan.
Yeah.
Buster.
Yay.
13. All right, if you all can step out just for a bit.
Just got some questions, just so we can clear the, for reading. So, for Henry, bumping him up, like we talked about, does it specifically need to say in the ordinance? Are we worrying about splitting the
Extends between the water department and street department.
for the zoning?
Well, what it'll end up being is it will be, we'll split the 66,000 between the water and the service, 50-50 like we do there. And then the additional 6,000 will come out of the general fund, the zoning inspecting
Okay.
fund.
I just didn't know
And,
if we wanted it more spelled out in the ordinance.
I don't know.
Does
It
matter?
doesn't need to be as long as, if council approves it, and Kurt can allocate it within the available.
I just didn't know, just, we always talk about down the road, so say Henry's like, fuck this zoning, I don't wanna do it no more.
Yeah. Well, that might, it might not be a bad idea for the auditor, because they're gonna look at his pay and they're gonna wonder why it's divvied up that way. So we could do that.
I just,
If you wanted to do the first reading tonight, then we can make the amendments and do the additional readings after the fact.
I could read it by title only tonight and then the
Yes.
whole thing next week with the
Well, and
amendment?
the other big question I had is, when would this begin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, so I didn't know, and I just arbitrarily run it out 3.
So when are you thinking? Next pay period?
You just started the pay period, right?
Well, we had conversations about this with the negotiation with Henry here, as far as when the payment of doing all this work that nobody's doing.
And I
yet would
apologize, I
start.
didn't see the email about the.
No, that's
special
fine.
session,
I mean,
so
like I said, we
that's-
can-
That's my
First
fault.
reading tonight, finish up on the
I'd like to
20th.
yeah, get it done at the next meeting. But I mean, are we talking about starting at November or just make it retro to the first of the year?
And I can put that in the amendment, but I gotta know what you
When
think.
we talked, and I think Mr. Contos is bringing up what we talked about.
Yeah,
Whenever we have a full crew, we were supposed to start immediately on that, is what we had talked about.
Okay.
Well, it still didn't tell me what date you're talking about.
Well, it just depends on
Well,
when
I put
Mr.
this-
We're talking
Geisy,
in circles.
Well, that's,
it just depends on Mr. Geisy. He's got to put 2 weeks notice in, so 2 weeks from now is when it would happen, which is
That's right.
today's point, that's next pay period.
Yeah, you just started a pay period, right? Pay period of 2 weeks. He puts his 2 weeks notice in, that's 2 weeks from
Yeah.
right now. So the start of next pay period would be the most logical in my mind. when you
so,
Well,
so let's get one thing straight. So 2 weeks from now, this guy gets hired and you're no longer calling
Correct.
to
Unless
Petros
there's
for
2
water
or
rates.
3 or whatever, yes,
So-
yes.
60,000 split between water and
66 split between service and
Yeah.
water.
'Cause-
And then 6,000 for the zoning duties.
that's not a job.
That comes out of the general fund, yes. Now, I threw a date on here of November 16th because that would be the first day of the pay period after 3 individual readings of this, but I didn't know what to put in because nobody said it.
Right, and that's why I left it blank.
Yeah.
Well, and then while we're in executive session, so assuming you're gonna hire Geisy, when is he gonna start?
2 weeks from today or tomorrow, he's putting it in tomorrow,
So it would
so.
be the
20th or the
He's
21st.
accepted, he just hasn't physically put it.
Correct, he didn't want to do it till he was physically.
Well,
he
yeah,
asked
I
me
wouldn't
about
quit my
that.
job till I had to do it.
So-
And we're still waiting on his drug test. I have no doubt that it's gonna
Yeah.
come
what we
clean
said
and
was,
stuff.
so
He did take
basically,
it Friday.
so the raise is 10% plus then the $500 or, right?
Per month
Am I
for the-
am I correct? 500 a month for the zoning. So that's why I think it would just be better, especially because like I say, we're gonna have to visit the chief. And then, so, if we don't bump him all the way up to 72.
Yeah.
We can, well, here, he got 10%. We'll give you, and we'll make that decision, but if we give him 10%, the difference in their wages is the zoning.
I got it. If you get first reading tonight, I'll make sure it's ready for the next meeting.
All right, so it's okay to do,
No, get Rose.
so it'd be okay to do 21 by title only for the first reading, and then read it all once we get it all cleaned up.
Yes.
And then we can finish it next meeting.
I mean, David sent me an email. I thought the basics down, so.
No, it's my fault.
No, we
I
can
didn't
fix it.
see it.
So just so I
I
know,
apologize.
what if Mr. Geisy goes in tomorrow morning and something happens and he takes 2 weeks vacation and wants to work for us? They don't give him his 2 weeks vacation. When do we start?
Well,
We start
we
right
could just,
then, or?
why don't we just hire him tonight? There's nothing, the only thing,
At the minimum, we need to wait till we get his drug test back.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
it should be coming back until Friday.
Yeah, I know. I looked right before I come in here and it's still pending. So I look for it. The clean drug test should come back tomorrow, Wednesday.
So what if we just say effective on it and make it a week from now? I mean, even if he starts later waiting on drug test or he works out a full 2 weeks, does it really matter? Does he have to start on a day that's written down in the ordinance?
It's more just for a physical start date for retirement.
What I'm
issues.
thinking is just pick a date and that gives him the peace of mind that he's hired tonight. He can put the notice in. And if they get pissed, I doubt the school would do
No.
that. But if they get pissed and shit can him, then yeah, spend the rest of the week getting shit together and he can start next week. Just a thought. And if it doesn't work out, he can do his drug test and just start in 2 weeks or whatever.
You don't think the school will do that?
The only thing that
They-
he's questioning, he's gonna ask them to pay out his 2 weeks vacation and work 2 weeks for them.
Oh,
And if they say, well, we're not giving you your 2 weeks paid vacation, he'll probably just say, well, give me my 2 weeks vacation. I'll take my 2 weeks notice and go to my vacation.
I would just take.
But I don't think the school will do that. Your question was the school
Yeah.
do that to him? I wouldn't believe so. He's been there 19 years. He's been a good
Yeah.
employee. I don't think they would, but it could happen is all I'm saying.
Like I say, we could do the first reading of Henry's tonight. Just go ahead and get him completely hired. That way there's nothing to worry about. You know, him worry about someone
Yeah.
changing their mind or whatever in 2
Well,
weeks.
plus he can turn his 2 weeks notice in tomorrow.
And so we could just pick the,
So my final reading for mine will be next meeting,
and then we can have the date.
but that won't apply for my pay till 2 weeks after that, right?
Right.
Well, Kurt said November 16th, yeah.
So that would be the 20th.
Will be my first full pay at that rate, November 16th.
That's the first pay
Well,
period.
2 weeks from now. is
So
the
Merry
20th.
Christmas.
Correct.
Yeah, that'd be my first
That's
full
what I'm saying.
pay
Should I
at
say the
that rate.
13th just in case? Or
Is
just
it?
go with the 20th?
Unless they need to know what the effective date.
Huh.
Is the effective date that pay period or that pay
I
day?
would just say.
The 20th.
If it's the pay period, the pay
So it'd
period
be
starts.
October 20th.
Oh, yeah. So it'd have to be effective next meeting,
Yeah,
right?
That's what has to get worked out in the ordinance.
Because if not, I wouldn't see that till the end of November, so maybe in the beginning of December. See a full pay with that.
First full, if it's November 16th, you would see it. You would see that check November 20th. Or no, you would see that December 4th.
Yeah, it would be December. But if you do your reading, you get a next meeting, then it would be November, right? Because next meeting is the end of this month. And if you approve it next meeting and start to pay as of that retro, the act of that day or the following day,
It has to be the second and third one meeting, but that's up to council.
oh, you want to do this in 3 readings?
That's what Kurt said originally.
Well, I didn't know.
I mean, it's up to council what they want, how
I
they.
mean, if you have it done by next meeting, you'd probably do all the readings, right? Next meeting, it starts up.
Or do you want to do that? Leave yours just sit, get all the wording correctly, and we just do it in one thing.
The next meeting is what you're
That way
saying.
that way just in case, nobody gets word of it.
However you guys want to do it, ultimately, it's your decision. I think that if you start the next council meeting and you approve all 3, then it would be retroactive the following day after that meeting, that it would start that pay, right? So then I would
Whatever
be,
day we choose on the ordinance. So we usually just try to do it so that it hits with the pay period, so it's easier. I'm just saying, that just to we can hire him, get that completely done tonight, we just let this one lay and let Charlie gets all the verbiage right,
for the next meeting.
and that what's the next meeting, the 20th?
2 weeks.
Yeah, it'd be the
20th, yeah.
We just do all 3 readings and be done with it.
It's entirely up to you guys. That way I just know when the first full pay of that's gonna come. So if you did it next meeting, it would be the first pay in November.
The only reason I say maybe we should do that is just so it's not out there and then people are calling the mayor or anyone else, if that were to happen, and saying, well, what the hell? You know what I mean? It's a small town.
You're just concerned
Yeah,
about
the
the
YouTube's
the
still
pay
on.
increase? Is that what you're
No, I ain't worried about the
I'm
pay
muted.
increase at all. I'm just talking about putting the
I'm
word
muted.
out there that we're gonna raise it, and all of a sudden we get
Yeah.
maybe some people that aren't a fan of Henry
Oh, my.
All right, back in regular session. Takes us into judicial. Floor is yours, Councilman Collins.
I'm sorry.
Floor is yours, sir.
We got judicial. Ordinance 2025-21. Ordinance adjusting increasing pay rate of Henry Boyle as the village administrator based on increased duties, responsibilities, and performance. Be it ordained by the Council of Village of East Canton, Stark County, Ohio, village administrator Henry Boyle, based upon his acceptance of all responsibilities as zoning inspector, bring water line breaks and repairs in-house, and his demonstrated performance and exemplary service to the residents of the village of East Canton, and adjustments to the annual salary of the village administrator Henry Boyle is just and warranted. Now therefore be ordained by the Council of the Village of East Canton, Stark County, Ohio, Section 1, based upon his acceptance and performance of additional job duties and responsibilities, his demonstrated training, knowledge, and experience, and his service to the residents of the Village of East Canton, annual salary of Henry Boyle be increased to $72,000 per year, beginning with the pay period commencing on the second day of November 2025, which is a 10% base pay rate increase, and then $500 a month or $6,000 a year for the zoning inspector position. Section 2, the village fiscal officer is hereby authorized to do all things legal and necessary to implement the annual salary increases as set forth herein. Section 3, it is hereby found determined that all formal action of this council concerning related to passage of this ordinance were taken in an open meeting of this council, and all deliberations of the council on any of its committees that result in such formal actions were meeting open to the public in compliance with the law. So,
Second.
oh, hang on. Be it further ordained that this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, safety, convenience, and welfare of the village of East Canton shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage at the earliest date allowable by law.
Yes. Second, Sobel.
Yes, sir.
All right. Roll call, Collins.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
Contos.
Yeah, nay.
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 Dan.
Yes.
Boston.
Yay.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second. Roll call, Collins.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
Contos.
Nay.
Dan.
Yes.
Boston.
Third and final reading ordinance 2025-21 by title only. An ordinance adjusting and increasing the pay rate of Henry Boyle as the village administrator based upon his increased duties, responsibilities, and performance. So,
Second.
Roll call, Collins.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
Contos.
Nay.
Dan.
Yes.
Boston.
ordinance 2025-22, an ordinance approving the appointment of Brian Geisey to the position of village service department employee, setting his rate of compensation, be it ordained by the council of the village of East Canton, Stark County, Ohio, Section 1. Village council hereby accepts and ratifies the recommendation of the mayor and the village administrator to appoint Brian Geisey to the position of as a full-time service department employee effective on the 20th day of October 2025. Section 2, Brian Geisey shall be compensated at a starting pay rate of $25 per hour and shall receive all the other benefits provided to full-time employees as set forth in East Canton Village Handbook. Section 3, upon obtaining a commercial driver's license type A and meeting additional standards and benchmarks as established by the village council, the hourly pay rate for Brian Geisey shall be increased to $26 per hour and may be further adjusted from time to time as determined and within the sole discretion of village council. Section 4, the village fiscal officer is hereby authorized to do all things legal and necessary to finalize Brian Geisey's appointment as a service department employee for the village of East Canton. Be it further ordained, is hereby found determined that all formal actions of this council concerning or relating to the passage of this ordinance were taken in an open meeting of the council, and all deliberations of the council and any of its committees that result in such formal actions or meetings open to the public in compliance with the law. Be it further ordained that this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, safety, convenience, and welfare of the village of East Canton, shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and at the earliest date allowable by law. So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Collins.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yay.
Contis.
Yay.
Van.
Yes.
Bussen.
Motion to suspend the rules.
So, second.
Roll call, Collins.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yay.
Contis.
Yay.
Van.
Yes.
Bussen.
Third and final reading of ordinance 2025-22 by title only. An ordinance approving the appointment of Brian Geisy to the position of Village Service Department employee and setting his rate of compensation. So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Collins.
Yes.
Blue.
Yay.
Contis.
Yay.
Van.
Yes.
Bussen.
Yay.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Good to have you on board.
Yeah. Can you read this one?
You want me to read it for you? Really, you just need to read it by title only if you want to. I included.
Three readings.
No, actually, we were supposed to have this in place by September 30th, so we gotta do all three tonight. But if you wanna just read if you just wanna read it down here to be for the cybersecurity policy, you can. I just added it in there just to give us a basis. Charlie had originally included it and just said as attached, but for the general public in the minutes, I wanted to actually put that on there. The auditor's been reading our minutes and actually been watching on YouTube.
So
So-
just read it to you.
Yes.
All right, ordinance 2025-23, an ordinance to adopt a cybersecurity policy in compliance with ORC 9.64. Be it ordained by the Council of Village of East Canton, State of Ohio, whereas the State of Ohio has implemented Ohio Revised Code Section 9.64 enacted in House Bill 96 of the 136th General Assembly, mandating all local governments and jurisdictions to establish a cybersecurity policy by September 30th, 2025. And whereas the purpose of this mandate is to strengthen protections of the public data, information systems, and technology resources from cybersecurity threats and risks. And whereas a draft cybersecurity policy has been prepared and reviewed and is recommended for adoption as a framework for compliance with ORC 9.64 and HB 96. Whereas the policy provides guidance and access control, security, system security, data protection, incident response, training, and vendor management. Well,
I think it's a spelling thing.
Yeah.
There was a few of them in there that I tried to catch because I didn't get that one. Training. That would be training. Yes, I'm sorry.
training, and vendor management, while requiring consultation with internet technology professionals and legal counsel for implementation and customization. Now therefore be ordained that one, the attached cybersecurity policy is hereby adopted as the official policy of the Village of East Canton. Two, this policy shall take effect immediately, and implementation of technical and training requirements to be completed on or before June 30th, 2026 is provided by Ohio State Auditor. Three, the village administrator shall distribute the adopted policy to each village employee and relevant contractor, and to ensure compliance and partnership with IT providers and legal counsel. The ordinance shall be in full force and effect upon its passage and adoption by the East Canton Village Council. So,
Second.
This is a work in progress. We really don't know. And Charlie will attest to that. They implemented these requirements, but they gave very little, if any, guidance. And there's going to be training required, but we just don't know what. So as we get more information, we'll probably be amending this policy, but at least we've adopted it and did that part of it.
The state legislature mandated that this be adopted by all local governments by September 30th. Of course, that didn't come out till in between our last couple of meetings. The state auditor has given us until July 20 next year to implement it. So I know Kurt's already reached out to Blue Tech, which does a lot of your IT stuff. And I think once we start understanding the expense and the training and the time involved, the village may want to try to collaborate with other Stark County villages to see if we can bring the overall cost down. But by passing this tonight, you're in compliance with the law.
All right, we have a standing motion, first by Collins, second by Band. Roll call, Collins.
Yay.
Blue.
Yay.
Contos.
Yay.
Band.
Yes.
Buxton.
Yay.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Roll call, Collins.
Yay.
Blue.
Yay.
Contos.
Yay.
Band.
Yes.
Buxton.
Yay.
Third and final reading of ordinance 2025-23 by title only, an ordinance to adopt a cybersecurity policy in compliance with ORC 9.64. So
Second.
Roll call, Collins.
Yay.
Blue.
Yay.
Contos.
Yay.
Band.
Yes.
Buxton.
Yay.
Anything else for judicial?
nothing.
Thank you, Councilman Collins. Takes us to grants. Anything for grants?
I'd just like to reaffirm the meeting with the engineers this Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. here in the council chambers. Is that correct?
But I need to know who, if council is planning on attending, we have to post this.
We can't make Wednesday.
It's Wednesday afternoon, so
11:30.
yeah, 11:30 a.m.
11:30 or 11? I thought it was 11.
Look at my calendar here.
I think 11.
That's what I thought.
I got all my notes back.
I have 11 as well.
That's
11.
11.
Very well. Wednesday, 11 a.m. And October 20th is the meeting with Representative Kishman. He said 6 p.m.
Correct.
Because the notice that I got on the email was 7. He said you didn't want, we're not meeting time for that, so we're gonna go at 6.
I would prefer 6.
I emailed him, that's what he's okay with 6.
Okay.
6 to 7.
We will have to post that.
Okay.
That's just before the next meeting.
20. Yeah, October 20th. And Miss Gibbs said that she'll be able to attend that too, so.
Great.
That's all I got.
What time Wednesday?
11 a.m.
How many from council plan to attend that sophomore?
Wednesday,
Yeah,
I'll be on.
you'll be attending? Anyone else?
Me.
Yeah. 2, we're not in violation, right? Alright, so we will not be posting it, the knowledge that you 2 are attending. Okay. Alright. Very good. Anything else for grants? Alright, takes us into finance.
Finance, I'd like to make a motion to approve payroll in the amount of $20,550.84 as presented by fiscal officer Dice.
Second.
Roll call, Collins.
Yeah.
Blue?
Yeah.
Contos.
Yay.
Band.
Yes.
Buxton.
And I'd also like to make a motion to approve the invoices in the amount of $72,590.27.
Second.
Roll call, Collins.
Yeah.
Blue?
Yeah.
Contos.
Yay.
Band.
Yes.
Buxton. Alright. Fiscal Officer Price presents council with permanent appropriations in the meeting agenda. Any questions on that? Anything else for finance?
No, no.
Councilman Dawson. Takes us to other. I had sent out last week the mayor's court report for September. Total collected for the month, $2,948, which breaks down as follows: $1,288 in fines, $1,124 in local costs, and $536 in state costs. Any questions regarding the court report? Anything else for other?
I got one. If we could have just a real quick executive session pursuant to 121.22G1 compensation. It's not going to take more than just a couple minutes, and there will be no action afterwards.
Who you asking me?
Council, the mayor and Charlie.
He's requesting that.
He's requesting that, so I need council to make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Collins.
Yay.
Blue.
Yay.
Constance.
Yay.
Dan.
Yes.
Boston.
Yes.
7:46. Active session.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Motion by Buxton, second by Collins. Roll call. Collins.
Yeah.
Baloo.
Yeah.
Concho.
Yay.
Van.
Yes.
Buxton.
Yay. Oh, shit, this.